Well, Christian, Boruto, and Shikadai are talking about like the ghost and how Boruto can only see it. Christian says, I just realized something. Boruto actually shows a picture. He says, cool. Christian says, well, look what I drew. And draw a perfection image. It looks like he just took a photo, but he really drew it. And it shows of all of their class and from the academy. He goes, whoa, that is insane. Then they look at Sumire in the photo and see that there's a dark aura around her in the picture. He says, what's this about? He says, wait, I didn't even draw that. That wasn't even there. What the hell is going on? Then they see that. Then they go outside. And then Sarda, Chocho, and Sumire feel like there's someone behind them. Then when they hear... Then... Krishna's just jumping on buildings, because that's what he does. Then he sees a guy behind these three. And when he's about to jump out, he goes... and just hits him with a, mini Rasengan. Because I'm gonna say he hits him with a gentle fish strike going... Then they hear an explosion, all they hear is... So then he jumps off the building going... He goes... They say, what is he doing? And then he goes... Got him! Then grabs him by his arm saying, what are you doing? He goes... and can't talk. He says, spit it out! He goes... Then all they hear is... Boruto, Shikadai, and Mitsuki Boruto, Shikadai, rush over and see what he's doing. Then see Christian with a kunai to his throat, while actually putting him against the wall. So, hola, Isaiah. Boruto says, hey, put him down. He says, why? He a stalker. He goes, Boruto goes, hold on, give me a sec. Excuse me, what? What? Excuse me, what?
Excuse me, what?
Isaiah, I don't know if you can hear it, but tell me, can you like go play back the bit and see if I was on mute? Cause I don't know. I don't know. Look, everything will go the same. I'm just gonna name it. So when he's got the guy on the ground, you know, like the stalker, and then Boruto says, what are you doing to him? He says, he's a stalker. Boruto goes,
excuse me, what?
He goes, yeah, this guy's a stalker. Yeah, I'm not on mute.
Excuse me, what?
So then he does his little asking out Sumire and date, but then we all know how that goes. He gets rejected. No, I imagine this is his reaction. He gets rejected, and then he goes,
excuse me, what?
I'm just going to the thing where there's tons of papers falling, and all that. He goes, what are you doing? Then he reads this and says, and it's all those weird love letters. Christian looks at one and goes,
Excuse me,
he says, "This guy is way too old, I just realized." He goes, "No, I think he's just in the class above us." He goes, "Give me a sec." Then when he looks at it and when he goes, then he goes. That is hilarious. Thank you. So after after that, then I'm just gonna skip this because it's boring. Then one day, while Boruto sees out his eye, all that crap, Christian looks in and says, "What the hell happened to your eye?" Then, but Naruto's still sleeping. Then he walks into his room and goes, dun, 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 dun. "Thank you," and goes, and then he goes, "Ow, my ears!" He goes, "That's what happens when you put chakra in your voice." He goes, "Sounds like you just put a balloon in your mouth." He says, "Well, Boruto's got this weird eye thing." He goes, "Is it eyelid?" He's got laser beam. I'll be back. Oh yeah, Isaiah, if you've been wondering why I haven't been answering your calls, there's the big reason. And I'm really not that happy to say it. I did not lose my phone, don't worry. My phone broke. My phone is broken and I have to get I have a new one that I'm using, but it's just not really that good to call with. Actually not, I will be right back and call you. was a fail. Whatever, back to the video. So, basically, then they'd want to go visit Hiyashi because Boruto is talking nonsense. And see if it's the Byakugan. Then when they arrive there, Hiyashi goes, "How is my favorite grandchildren?" He goes, good. He says, "Wait a minute." Then he turns and looks at Christian and says, "Who is that?" He says, "And why does he look the same age as Boruto? I've never seen him before." He says, "Also, he has orange hair. None of y'all have that." He says, "1, he's never came down to see you before. 2, his name is Christian, and the reason why he's got orange hair is because it's a mix. Even though it's not really a mix, he just has it." He goes, "Also, he says, "Is he even your son?" He says, "Then why do I have," he says, "Yes, I have blue eyes." He goes, "Okay, then." He says, "So, what brings you here?" He says, Boruto's been saying that he might have awakened his Byakugan. He says, "Has anyone else here awakened their Byakugan?" Christian says, "Me." He goes, "Would you like to see it?" He goes, "Sure." He goes, but then it doesn't work. He goes, "What the?" He goes, "What the heck?" It's not working. Then he goes,
Excuse me, what?
it don't work. Then he tries again. Then he goes, "There we go." He says, then he reverts his Byakugan back and says, "I can also do this." He goes, and I say, "Why is his eye blue with a slit?" He says, "Well, that's kind of," he's got a tail beast in him. He says, "You still the tail beast inside your own child?" He goes, "Yes and no. He decided to do it himself." He goes, "Well, that's a dumb decision." He goes, "I know." And when they say this, he goes,
Excuse me, what?
then he's just training by himself. He goes, he said, then Hanabi walks up saying, "Do you need a sparring partner?" He says, "Nah. I'm just gonna train." He goes, boom, 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 boom. He says, "I used to do that, and that's how I got like this." He says, "Really?" He says, "I actually beat Hinata." He goes, "Alright, that's not cap. I can kind of believe that. She stopped being a shinobi." He goes, so he says, "Who's the strongest?" He goes, "I don't know. I mean, technically me, because in the house or like in like the sibling relationship." He goes, "I'm gonna say in the sibling." He goes, "Oh, then me." He goes, "Is that just your ego, or is that like true?" He goes, "I'm gonna say it's true, since Boruto don't got no Kekkei Genkai." Alright, I'm